Hi everyone, it's Sintang Mayumi. I have a birthday cards today using Avery Elle Peekaboo Fair stamp set. Let's begin by creating our background. I have these strips of watercolor paper scraps and I want to use them. When I cut my watercolor paper into A2 size panels, I get a little bit of scraps, so I save them on projects like this. I will color the strips of watercolor paper with my Daniel Smith watercolor paints and just choose the colors that I like. For the first background, I want to have rainbow colored background, so I color the strips with red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And for the second background, I color the strips with pastel colors. I added strong double-sided tape on the back of on all of the strips that I colored, and I will adhere it on my A2 size panel. The panel I'm using is 65-pound white cardstock. So I'm just going to adhere all of these strips and we'll move on to the next step. After I adhered all of the strips on my panels, I will trim the excess paper that are hanging off the edges. I will save the excess paper to use in the inside of the cards. And then I will die cut these panels using Elizabeth Craft Designs dashing rectangles. Now I'm going to use the stamp set from Avery Elle called Peekaboo Fair, and I'm going to use this big Ferris wheel image, and I'm going to stamp it on the left side of the lower part of the card. So I'm just lining it up, and then I will close my Misti and pick up the stamp, and then I'm going to stamp it with Versafine Onyx black ink, and then stamp it a few times to get good impression. And I will emboss this one with white clear embossing powder. Wow clear embossing powder. So I'm just gonna pour the clear embossing powder on top of the stamp image, tap the excess. So we're gonna move on to this next panel here. Stamp the image a few times, and then I will also emboss this one with clear embossing powder. I'm also going to use this Lawn Fawn watercolor Wishes 6x6 paper pad because I'm going to do some paper piecing on the Ferris wheel. So I'm just gonna stamp all of the pattern papers, and then I will also emboss them with clear embossing powder. And then I will melt all the powder with my heat tool. After the embossing and stamping is done, I'm going to fussy cut this images here with my detailed scissor, and I also colored the edges, white edges with my Memento black marker, and colored the stars with my red Cupcake marker. I use liquid glue to adhere the parts of the Ferris wheel on the rainbow background, and I should use foam tape. I totally forgot. So on the second panel, I use foam tape. I'm going to stamp the unicorn uh, on a 90-pound watercolor paper because I'm going to fussy cut the images after I colored them, and I'm stamping them with Versafine Onyx black ink. And then I'm going to color them with my Z Clean Color Real Brush markers, and did very simple coloring on the unicorn images. Let's go ahead and adhere our unicorns in the middle parts of the Ferris wheel. I added foam tape on the back of the unicorn and then a little bit of glue to adhere it. And then we'll adhere our panels on our A2 size top folding card base. And the card base I'm using here is paper tree ink. I don't know what the colors are, but I got a pack of cardstock from paper tree ink last time, so I just chose the colors that will match with my panels. For the sentiment, I will stamp one of the sentiment from the stamp set that says wishing you a magical day, and I stamped that with Versafine Onyx black ink on the upper left corner of the panel or card. For the inside of the cards, I already went ahead and adhered all the leftover colored strips on the right side and die cut it with same die that I use on my front panels. And then I'm going to stamp this Ferris wheel with Memento London Fog Ink on the paper, and then I will also stamp happy birthday, and this happy birthday sentiment is from Things/Talk from Tim Holtz stamps that I have. So I'm just going to stamp that with Versafine Onyx black ink, and I'm gonna do the same thing on this panel. And then we can adhere these panels on our cards, inside our cards. So I'm just adding ATG tape, and then we'll adhere it. The last part of the video footage is corrupted, so I can't do anything about that, but I just added some jewels from Honeybee Stamps called Cupcake all over the cards, and added some shimmer on the parts of the Ferris wheel and on the unicorn as well. Sorry about the last parts, I didn't show you how I embellished the cards. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.